Okay, now we go on to the stats number 2. Now the stats number 2 is some of the really sharp ones who have been trading for quite a bit, testing for quite a bit, will immediately ask, okay, that's good on the target, but where do I put my stops? How do I manage my risk, right? So how do you do that? Now, again, the point of entry and the maximum point reached will come to your rescue. And that's why they had to do that first. They had to lock in those 2 points first. Because without that, you won't get any of the stats. So if you, once you lock in your point of entry here, where the bottom gets confirmed, from this point of entry, sorry, I should put it over here. From this point of entry, right? What they then analyzed is to place their stops effectively. This is the starting point, right? The point of entry. They started to analyze, okay, if this is my maximum point where it went to, right? How much did it go against me? That means how much did it fall below the point of entry before going to the top, the maximum point, which in other words, in a cycle framework, is the top or the bottom, is it not? You can see how so important and pivotal the quantification of top and bottom is, because it keeps coming back for point of entry and maximum point. So you see, traders, once you got that locked in, I can see, analyze now, how much did it go below that blue line before it went to the top? And that is my number for that one run. Let's say that is 50. And technically, do you all know what the term we call for this? How much does it go against you before going to the top? I'm sure you all learned it in your diploma as well. Exactly, that's right. Maximum adverse excursion. How much did it go against me before rising to the top? One of my clients in US used to call it, Thiru, it's the dance that it does, right? How does it dance before getting to the top, right? The dance that scares the hell out of people if they don't understand all of this stats and the cycle framework, right? And which keeps people earning inconsistent performance. So the maximum adverse excursion is what I just spoke about, is how much does it go against the point of entry before going to your target, okay? Or in other words, some people might call it profit taking, right? Some people take some profit before it goes up, move further up. This will help in your increasing your trades getting to the target and also stop you getting fearful as well. Now we've coded that in as well. So if you go in here, and if I go back to here, start to use the replay mode. Yeah, you all can see it this time around. There you go, awesome. So you can see the blue line, right? The point of entry where the top got confirmed. Now what we are more looking at, let me hide the VSA light for a moment. Now what we are looking at is how much did it go above the blue line, you see? So the highest point it went to so far, right, is the high of this green bar, the high of this green bar. So let me just put another, so far, that's your maximum point it went against you, right? Let's see if it goes up more further higher than that. Let's see. Then after that, it went more further down. Let's see if it comes back into that area again. So it doesn't, right? So far, it looks like that's the maximum it went against us, and let's keep playing it. Before it confirms its bottom, because the market must always oscillate between a bottom and a top. Cannot keep moving in a straight line, is it not? And there you go. So you got the finish of that move, right? Maximum point is locked in here, and the point of entry and the maximum it went against you is up to that red line. And that is what we measure here. If I put up the stats chart again, I change this to MAE. Just a quick side note, the OE, which I just showed you, was in pips. You can also see it in ATR as well, or in percentage as well, okay? So let me go into MAE now, and I'll show you an MAE wise. I've got to use less than or equal to. I'll show you why in a minute. And then we'll press OK. And there you go. You got now the stats chart, the same thing. Okay, so now what I've got here, now the stats chart is changed into a MAE chart now. Now what is telling me again, okay, we got 426 runners, right? The same number of runners, just like what we looked at the open equity. Now it's telling me 44% of them, or 255, no, that's not, 189 of them went against me less than or equal to 25 pips, right? Now, if I want to place my stop where I won't get stopped out 80 or 90% of the time, so that I'm not interfering with my profitable runners, then you can see that I need to place my stop 100 at 125 pips. 92% of the time, I won't get stopped out if I place it over there. If you want to increase it, actually in our testing, what we found is usually choose the 95 to 96% number. That's when the stats really works out very well. So they won't interfere with your profitable runners. So you can use the 150 pip point as your stop loss. Now remember, don't confuse this. And sometimes some people will quickly say, oh, Thiru, that's quite a large stop away, 150 pips. But don't confuse this with your actual loss that you're going to take. You just have to give it room to move, right? It's how it dances and how it moves to get to its maximum point. It's telling you, hey, you know what? I'm telling you how I'm moving. This is how I move. We can't change the market, right? The market is very big. That's the numbers you got to play with. Yeah? But I just want you all to understand this different stats that is so critical for you guys to use in terms of your own strategy. Okay, so that's the MAE part of it. And we can also do that for, especially when you're looking at crypto and all of that, because the market expands and contracts really fast. So I highly recommend you guys using the ATR function. So you can use the ATR function here. And if I were to do that, I'll tell you one interesting thing that actually happens when you actually look across all these different markets. It's quite scary actually, but I'll tell you in a minute. Yeah, so there you go. So that's all in ATR. So you can see that if you usually place your ATR at the 1.5 mark, if you see 96% of the time, actually 98%, 96% of the time, 1.25 ATR will do the job. If you want to be a bit more safe, 1.5 ATR will do the job actually. So we can use between the raw pips and the ATR levels, okay? So that's to do with placing your initial stop loss and your trailing stop loss. If you want to get notified every time we put a video up, especially on our live trading update videos, hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell notifications icon. This will get the YouTube algos to kick in and for you to join us in our mission to spread the truth of trading further so that traders like you can benefit from our videos to trade like a master, achieve consistent performance, and change lives.